Guys, VA loans and FHA loans are not an investment loan. What's up guys, it's McKeown back again with another video this week. This is a topic that I have gotten more than really any other question or statement, I guess, on my YouTube channel. One of the main reasons why is one of my largest videos on YouTube is discussing using your VA loan. A lot of people have searched for that kind of content, found it, decided to subscribe, and have watched a lot of my other content regarding VA loans. Now to clarify here, yes, you can purchase a property with your VA loan or your FHA loan and eventually turn it into an investment property, but the biggest issue that I have with people reaching out is the fact that they reach out confuse the fact that they can't use their VA loan for an investment property. They can't use an FHA loan for an investment property. That's true, you can't. But what you can do is you can purchase a property easily with an FHA loan or a VA loan, such as a multifamily, a duplex, a triplex, or a quad. Those are multifamilies. You can purchase a multifamily with an FHA loan or a duplex, live in it, and at some point eventually move out and rent it out as a complete investment property. Now the issue that people have when reaching out to me is they think they can use their VA loan, they think they can use their FHA loan and just buy a property and never occupy it. I've gone over this in another short video myself. This is mortgage fraud, guys. You cannot do this. At the end of the day, if you're gonna be utilizing your VA loan or FHA loan, you have to occupy it. Now the real question here is, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and occupy it, but how long do I have to occupy it for? I'll give you two situations using my personal VA loan. The same thing could be said for an FHA loan. Now an FHA loan can only truly be used once, so it's gonna be a little bit different if you're trying to use your FHA loan and you're not a veteran. Now the VA loan can technically be used as many times as you want. I'll detail that here shortly, but my first instance was back in 2017. If you watched my last video, that was my first investment property. It was a duplex. I purchased it, lived in one side, the other side was already rented out. I rented out my 2 bedrooms. This is what we call house hacking in the real estate investment world. I house hacked a duplex with my VA loan. Now the thing is I learned a lot, and I learned a lot quick. I wound up only actually living in that property for 5 months. Technically July of 2017, and I moved into the next property that I purchased in the month of December, same year, 2017. Now a lot of people will comment, oh my gosh, that's not allowed. You have to live in a property for 12 months at least. This is what I call an underwriter's discretion. It's gonna be completely up to the underwriter whether or not you get approved for an additional property. Now, they are going to require you to really write something up and explain, hey, why are you moving from one house to another house so quickly? In my instance, 5 months ago. And I'll give you guys my rundown in terms of what made more sense for me. I purchased a duplex. It was living side by side with my tenant. I was having issues with my tenant, didn't want to basically have my tenant coming over to my side asking me to fix this or can she pay rent later. Eventually I wound up evicting this individual anyways, but that was one reason. I didn't want to live next to my personal tenant. I also had a rather expensive car that I decided to rent on Turo, and all they had was a carport. I didn't really like the idea of parking an expensive car in a carport. That wasn't really gonna, at the end of the day, be protected as much as I would like it to be. Also, the property that I was moving to was closer to work. It was a traditional single family home. It also had the opportunity for me to use a conventional loan, because I went from a VA loan, not to an additional VA loan, but I went from a VA loan to a conventional loan, and a couple years later, I went back and used my VA loan, but it wasn't using a VA loan and then 5 months later using your VA loan again. And the same thing could be said for individuals that are not veterans. If you go use an FHA loan, you truly can go and purchase another house as long as there's enough reasons why. But in your case, you're gonna have to go from FHA multifamily, duplex, triplex, or quad, to a single family using a conventional loan. Now, this isn't to say that you have to purchase a multifamily to start off with, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. Almost no offers are being accepted when it comes to VA loans or FHA loans. You can definitely take a stab at it, but it's going to be very difficult. Now, you can go the single family route. You can purchase a single family, live in it, rent out the other rooms. Again, this is the same kind of sense of house hacking, and you can actually decide to move from one single family conventional loan to another single family conventional loan. Again, it's going to depend on an underwriter's discretion if you're moving within a relatively short amount of time. And the thing is, there's not going to be some some set checklist that you have to abide by, and every lender at the end of the day is going to, potentially deny you or approve you. This is why I always suggest people work with a mortgage broker. In my instance, my actual good friend and owner of a local mortgage brokerage here, he was able to go to a couple of his mortgage reps and ask, hey, this is the situation he's in. Is he gonna be able to be approved? One of them actually denied me, another one approved me. So it's going to be truly, at the end of the day, different from each individual underwriter and each individual mortgage company. Again, this is why I suggest you guys using a mortgage brokerage, because they're gonna broker your loan to multiple different people rather than just going to USAA or using one particular lender. So to give you guys my timeline, again, purchased a property in July of 2017, multifamily, VA loan, duplex. Now, if you're looking to do FHA, this is a kind of bad news for you. It's gonna be difficult to do a triplex or a quad, especially in my local market, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because FHA has a guideline where it has to be self-sufficient, meaning the rents have to be a certain amount in order to cover the mortgage. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get pre-approved for a triplex or quad. Duplex, it doesn't matter. So FHA, duplex, easy job. VA loan, duplex, triplex, or quad, really no issue. There's no set standard when it comes to VA loans in terms of self-sufficiency. So again, if you're in a different market, reach out to me, comment down below. My Instagram is actually in the description below as well. Email me, whatever you may desire. I can get you connected with a local agent in your market. But duplex for an FHA loan or 2, 3, or 4 unit when it comes to VA loans are gonna be your best option. So going back to my situation, July of 2017, I purchased a duplex. 5 months later, I used a conventional loan and I purchased a single family. Again, an underwriter actually denied me and another underwriter approved me. So I'm not here going to tell you, hey, purchase a property and a month later move, because you will not get approved regardless of your situation, but you will get approved if you decide to turn around and sell it. That's a whole different story. If you purchase a property, hold it for 6 months and decide to sell it, as long as you're going from one property, selling it, and then going into another, there's not gonna be any issues. We're talking about a situation where you're moving into one property, a primary occupant home, and trying to move so quickly into another primary occupant home. So again, I purchased a conventional home at the end of 2017, and I didn't purchase another property until technically the end of 2019. So almost 2 years, technically 2 months short of 2 years, is when I purchased my next property, which was a fourplex using a VA loan. Now, I had to give an underwriter a little bit of detail in terms of why I was moving from a single family to a fourplex. But again, the longer amount of time from each primary occupant home that you purchase, the less you're probably going to have to worry when it comes to getting approved or, filling the underwriter in with your story to make sure that you don't get denied. Again, guys, I had to go into a pretty significant amount of description and detail as to why I was moving from my VA loan first duplex to my conventional home 5 months later. One denied me, one didn't, but at the end of the day, I was able to purchase it within 5 months. And again, that is not mortgage fraud, because I'm going from one property living into it to another property living in that as well. So again, the biggest issue here is I have people reaching out to me asking me, hey, can I purchase a duplex and just rent it out with my VA loan? No, you can't. Can I purchase a property with my FHA loan and continue to live in my apartment and just rent out the duplex? No. That's mortgage fraud. Guys, if you want to purchase a property with your FHA loan or your VA loan, and technically even a conventional loan is a lot harder to get when it comes to multifamily because of the opportunities when it comes to conventional loans and multifamilies. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to be putting about 15% down to purchase a multifamily as an owner occupant, and at that point, I'd probably just be purchasing it with 25% down as a true investment property. So I would err more towards VA loan or FHA loan, but again, single family, conventional all day long. So once again, guys, reach out to me if you need an agent that can help you in your local market. I will reiterate again, please understand that if you're gonna be using your VA loan, your FHA loan, or even a conventional loan 15% down on a multifamily, or a conventional loan putting 3 to 5% down on a single family, all of these you have to occupy. If you're not going to occupy, it's mortgage fraud. And if you don't want to go to jail for a foreseeable future, you're gonna have to put 20 to 25% down, get a higher interest rate, and purchase the property as an outright investment property. So to recap, guys, here again, a VA loan, an FHA loan, or a low down conventional loan are all primary occupant loans. That means they are not an investment loan. They are not an investment property. But give it time, live in it for a little bit, make sure you actually live in it and don't try to make your way around the requirements when it comes to this. Live in it for a little, decide to move out whenever you so desire, and then turn it into an investment property and move into another primary residence. To be honest with you, the biggest asset in my business and what I've been able to do in real estate is appreciation. The Dallas-Fort Worth market has gone absolutely insane, and I'm continuing to leverage myself just based off the properties I purchased, which I've purchased a handful. I was able to go from a duplex to a single family, to a quad, to a primary residence that we're actually filming this video in right now. So that's 4 properties in the span of 4 to 4.5 years. And those 4 properties have all appreciated a ton. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually using 1031 exchanges for 2 of those properties to buy more expensive commercial properties. So what I'm really doing here is I'm taking the appreciation over the past, whether it be 2, 3, 4, or 5 years, and rolling that into a more expensive property that's gonna give me a higher return. To be honest with you, there's really no other way I would be able to purchase a $1.3 million commercial property for my real estate company or to build a luxury cabin up in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. That is actually something I'm under contract right now and will be closing at the end of March. Both of those properties I rolled in equity that I got from my duplex and my quad, both technically with my VA loan. And again, guys, those are properties that I occupied. I occupied and moved out at some point, but I did make the sacrifice, or what I like to say, investment into my future by living in properties that were really not necessarily something I would be proud of, or some area that, I'm excited to have someone over. They were a little bit rougher areas. They were areas that weren't necessarily as safe as your traditional single family household would be. But again, it was something that I was willing to sacrifice or again, invest in myself because I knew the long-term picture would result in exactly what I'm doing now. And that's leveraging myself to larger and even better investments. So again, guys, it doesn't matter if you're local in my Dallas-Fort Worth market or anywhere else in Texas or the entire country. I have a ton of agents that I've networked with within my coaching organization that I can connect you with that can help you as well use your VA loan, a low percent down conventional loan, or your FHA loan to get started when it comes to real estate investing. But again, at the end of the day, the easiest way to get into real estate investing is purchasing a property, house hacking it, meaning living in it, putting a low amount down, renting out the rooms or renting out the other side, and eventually move on from that property and purchase another. Now, there's nothing wrong with saving up your money, putting 20% down, borrowing some money with your parents, getting married, and just conjoining all of the income to be able to purchase a rather expensive home that you live in for the next 10 to 15 years. At the end of the day, a purchase of a home and paying off the debt of the home, it's almost inevitable with everything that's going on that appreciation is going to happen regardless of your market. Now, some markets are going to appreciate more than others, but I absolutely believe in the power of purchasing a house. But if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit and live in less desirable areas, maybe a multifamily, rent out the rooms. I know a lot of the folks that watch me may be married or have kids, so in terms of buying a single family and renting out the rooms, it's a little bit of an awkward situation. But again, if you're willing to make the sacrifice, I can tell you right now, just based off of my story and the last 4.5 years, it will absolutely pay off in the end. So really, guys, reach out to me via Instagram or via email, or just leave a comment down in the description below. I make sure to try to get back to just about every single comment on my YouTube channel. I appreciate all the support. Make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. P.S. The next video that's coming, guys, is a breakdown of my Broken Bow cabin, how much it's gonna cost, what I'm doing to purchase it, and at the end of the day, what do the numbers look like? So stay tuned.